This is a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. Go to allthews.3cr.org.au.
Slavery is back.
Welcome to a place where private business profit from a captive labour force, yet pennies are spent on medical services to a population in which the Indigenous, the poor and the mentally ill are overrepresented. Where isolation, humiliation and degradation are facts of life. Welcome to prison.
It depends who's telling the story, I suppose. The prisoners would have one view, the people who work in the prison system would have another, and I think it's up to people to decide where the truth is.
Give government propaganda and the media spin doctors the flick. And check out Doin Time for news, views and tunes on prison issues from Guantanamo Bay to Christmas Island to prisons and detention centres everywhere. Every Monday at 4 p.m. on your community radio 3CR.
We are still fired up and we're still talking about revolution.
Hello and welcome to the Doin Time show. This is 3CR Community Radio, 855 AM on the dial, streaming live on www.3cr.org.au. This is Marisa and I will be taking you through for the next hour. This episode of Doin Time contains audio descriptions of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who have died and graphic discussion of deaths in custody. First up on the show, we'll bring you an interview with Travis Lovett, Traditional Owner and Deputy Chair and Commissioner of the Yoorrook Justice Commission, and he's spent his life advocating for truth and justice for First Peoples. And I'm really looking forward to hearing Travis talk about what land he's from and hopefully to speak in language as well. We will talk to him about the Walk for Truth. Travis will be walking from Portland to Parliament from May 25th to June 18th in an effort to bring Victorians together as part of the state's truth-telling process. The Doin Time show has been instrumental for many years to provide a safe environment for marginalised communities, and we have provided already to date extensive coverage on the Yoorrook Commission, colonisation and genocide. Travis is passionate about practising his culture, working with community and preserving Aboriginal languages. We will speak about reflections on the fact that the 4-year commission will end on the 30th of June 2025, as well as the walk. After that, we will play you some audio from yesterday's Palm Sunday Refugee and Palestinian Rally, so stick around for that. But now I'd really like to welcome Travis to the program. Hello, it's lovely to have you.
Yeah, Nata Marisa, Nata. Thanks very much, everyone, for the opportunity to come in and share what we're up to as well. And just as you said in the introduction there, the ongoing support that you provided our Yoorrook Justice Commission in getting out and sharing the true story and the true history of our state here in Victoria.
Beautiful.
As custom to our mob as well, while I'm at it, Travis Lovett, Kerrupmara, Gunditjmara meeting. Linyan Kokon, Kenen Konda Terek Pujibim, Yumbi meeting, Warandari meeting, Golden meeting, Nian Kalabanjol Mama, Book, Bilong Bility meeting, Narakitong meeting, Narakitong Ma, Min Mo. This acknowledged country, pay my respects to the elders past, present, recognise I'm a proud Kerrupmara, Gunditjmara man from Portland. What is now known as Portland, rather, and acknowledge that I'm calling in today on Wurundjeri country, and acknowledged also their connection to the Billerong, the river, and also their spirit creator, Bunjil, and Wah, the crow. And people sometimes ask why I put the crow in there. Well, laws and customs and traditions are a part of our LORE system, and we always honour and respect the lands that we're on, not only our own, but also as we're visitors in another country. And I always think it's really important to articulate that we tread lightly on country, but, gee, we talk strong for our people and our rights to be upheld and respected. So I just wanted to share that sentiment there in language, and also let the old people know that their fight, their struggle and their resistance has amounted to me and others being able to engage in language and share that and pass that on as well, but also for our people to hear that. I think I take strength in when I'm even speaking it, and I hope others mob out there do. And it's not to throw shade or anything like that at anybody else. It's more just to share that out there and put that out there to everyone as well. So thanks for the opportunity again to be on the session here.
Yeah, I just think that speaking in language is really important, given that was one of the things that was taken away during colonisation, that process, and even now to an extent.
100%. I think this is something that we've really looked at quite deeply in the Commission as well, and particularly having our land injustice hearings, and we invited the churches to come along, for the churches to come and share, their role in that colonisation process as well, and our people being put on reserves and missions, and them not being able to pass on our sacred knowledge system as well, and the challenges that came through that as well. But, again, it's that resistance of our people to always push back and, to be able to pass on that language. And I think that's something that, again, we honour and we cherish. But also we talk truth around what was trying to happen. I think Auntie Vicky Cousins articulated, the language attack on our languages and our identity as a form of linguicide. So I'd also encourage people to check out the evidence that Auntie Vicky and others gave at our commission as well around languages, but also land injustice and a number of other things I'm sure we'll get to talk about today. I do talk really fast, and I
perfect.
But, definitely.
It's good to talk. Well, you're talking clearly and fast, so it's very efficient and good. I love having you. You love your work. Yeah. Now, the languages, before we get on to other stuff, because I want to talk about the walk as well, can you talk to us a little bit about linguicide? Because that's not really talked about that much, is it?
No, it's not. And it's interesting. That was the evidence that was provided, by Auntie Vicky, and that was her way to articulate, the viewpoint and all the engagement that Auntie Vicky Cousins and a number of others, but Auntie Vicky did come and give evidence around that particular subject matter as well. And I think that, there's a lot of history associated, in the colonisation process around the loss of languages and our ability to be able to connect with country and culture and traditions and so forth as well. And I think that it's always important that we talk about these truths and talk about, because people always say, well, why don't you speak your language, And I think people don't understand the full history, and I think that's part of the work that we're doing at Yoorrook, is to document the full story of the colonisation process here in Victoria, starting with the arrival of the Henties in Portland in 1834, November 19, and the continued injustices that our people have faced to 2025.
Exactly. Can you talk about the walk? I think from what I can see here, there's a walk for truth, and you'll be walking from Portland to Parliament from May 25th to June 18th in an effort to bring Victorians together as part of the Strait's truth-telling process. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, well, as I was just saying just then, Portland, I guess, is where colonisation started. As a proud Gunditjmara man, Kerrupmara man, that's my ancestral connections to that area. So that's where, colonisation started. So the walk is really about, as you said, bringing all of society together to come and listen and learn and engage in the truth-telling process. Over the last 4 years, we have engaged significantly right across the state. We've travelled to every corner of the state, hearing people's truths, from going and visiting and engaging with massacre sites through to the innovation and strength and resistance that our people have faced. We've had 67 public hearing days. We've live streamed a lot of that evidence also to the public, and you've helped us obviously share that work as well. We've heard from more than 1,500 First Peoples and non-First Peoples, including descendants of early colonial figures, which is incredibly important. And we've investigated really key and complex areas as part of our terms of reference in the last 4 years: land, sky, waters, health, housing, criminal justice, child protection, and the economy. There's a few others, but they're really important: sovereignty, access to records, and so forth as well. But all with that evidence and the many, 9,000 First Peoples we've also engaged with across the state, we are now working really hard to turn those truths and those lived experiences of our people into recommendations for reform. We'll hand a report over to the Victorian government and the First Peoples Assembly, along with an official public record. So the walk will primarily focus in on those 4 years' worth of truths, whilst we've been working alongside traditional owners right across the route to share and showcase the country that they want to be able to showcase through that walk. It'll take 25 days, and I'm really excited about the opportunity that presents, but also bringing people together. We've heard so many times in this commission, particularly from non-Aboriginal people, that they didn't know about the history, they didn't know about the full story, and we're encouraging people to come and walk with us and talk with us, to listen and learn and engage. Again, this is not about blaming everyday people about what's happened to our people, but it's about raising awareness and sharing the full story of what's happened to our people. However, in saying that, there needs to be institutional accountability for the continued harms that they've caused our people, and these are the conversations that we'll have along the way, based on moving forward, based on truth, justice and healing. I know many of your viewers and many of our people and listeners also want to heal, Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people, and that's why it's really important that we come together. We visit these sites that are of significance, historical, cultural and environmental significance to our people, and we bring people together, again, to listen and learn and reflect, and also talk about the strength and the resistance and the contributions that our people make. So many of our people have made so much contributions. So that's what the walk's about. Everyone is welcome. It's not just for our mob. It's actually for non-Aboriginal people also to come walk with us and come and engage. You can walk as little or as much as you like, and we'll be able to share more details on our website. But if you do want to register, because we are taking registrations as well, visit our website on www.yoorrook.com/walk-for-truth. So I'd like people to who are interested to come forward and register, but also follow us on social media and share and listen and engage, and also talk to your friends, your family and community about what we're up to. It's incredibly important. So again, it's for everybody, not just for our mob, whilst the underpinnings will be about our truths and our lived experience and elevating those, but also about how we move forward together.
So you're contributing to a brighter future of truth, justice and healing.
Well, that's right. And I think always our people have always really clearly articulated that. I think that 4 years ago we got the opportunity to, as a people, to have the Yoorrook Justice Commission established. And that was, incredibly important. But it's also important to note that our people this year, actually, Victoria as a state, in a colonial sense, has turned 191 years. And our people have fought for truth-telling and advocated and agitated and articulated really clearly about the need for truth-telling. And that was been our primary role over those 4 years, with the broad terms of reference that we have to look at all those key areas that I highlighted, a few moments ago. So it's always about moving forward.
Can you tell us, what the walk will look like? Like, for example, is it going to be that you will visit some of the massacre sites, or is it more that it's going to be like a general thing?
Yeah, we'll be visiting sites that are sometimes massacre sites, but also sites of cultural significance and sites of innovation. And so forth as well. I mean, we're working with traditional owners to reflect what they want to be able to showcase. But again, we don't shy away from the hard truths. Around some of these sites will be massacre sites, because those truths need to be told, need to be shared, and need to be articulated more broadly, because they did happen, and it is the facts and the evidence that we've documented through this commission. But also, the innovation. I mean, we've got the 6,800-year-old aquaculture system through the Gunditjmara landscape and so forth, and there's many others right throughout the journey that we'll be working alongside the traditional owners to also showcase as well, and that's an opportunity for everyone to get involved in this walk for truth, but also coming together, listening and learning and talking as we walk, literally and physically walk. over 370 kilometres from Melbourne, from Portland to Parliament. And people also might ask me, I articulated earlier about the importance of Portland to me, but also it's where colonisation began. For many people who don't know here in the state of Victoria, but Parliament since 1856 has passed legislation that segregated and controlled our people's lives. But it's also an opportunity at Parliament House to change and transform the lives of our future as Aboriginal people, but also for all Victorians. So it's important that we provide messages and connect with people to Parliament where the change can happen for all our society, and that's about all of us coming together to create a better shared future. And that's why we're encouraging all to walk with us.
It's so important.
Understand the past and how it connects with the present, we can create a better shared future.
It's true, and it's so important. I mean, even one of the things that I was kind of visualising as you were talking is that you're obviously going to need also volunteers to provide support and food along the way and stuff like that, yeah? Yeah,
that's right. So we'll a lot of people have reached out already. So I've been overwhelmed actually with the support around the walk and the message of the walk and why it's so important, but also people wanting to also get involved and help as well. And I think this is, why I'm encouraging people to register as well, to register to let us know that they're going to be getting involved and how they can get involved as well as through that registration process. So encouraging people to jump on our website if they can and where they can to be able to engage with us on this really important walk for truth.
Absolutely, and it's important with that. So tell us more a little bit about, do you have to go right now? Have you got a couple more minutes?
Oh, I've got a couple more minutes.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about Portland and how it was before colonisation? Like what I'm saying is, because it wouldn't have been called Portland before that. Like, did they land there?
Right. Yeah, that's right. They landed in what is now known as Portland, or I think it's actually called in the colonial terms Henty Bay. As well. So, there's many different clan groups that make up the Gunditjmara people. And I think, one of the most, the first actually ever recorded massacre here in the state of Victoria. I'm sorry that this is, trigger warning with some of the stuff that we talk about.
Absolutely, and I did know at the beginning, yep.
No, great. No, I did hear that, but I just wanted to skip that as well.
Sure.
But really, really important. The Kilgara mob, and the massacre that happened on the convincing ground, which will actually be one of the first stops from when we leave Henty Bay and we walk to the convincing ground and highlight. We'll be asking the local mob to come and talk about what actually happened there as well. Really important, where it's an opportunity for local mob to actually share what happened. But primarily, nearly a whole clan was wiped out in that dreadful. Words can't even articulate really that incident and what it did to nearly a whole clan of the Kilgara mob on Gunditjmara country. And these are the truths that we want to highlight. We will highlight, and we have highlighted through the Yoorrook Justice Commission's process more broadly, but also, as I said, around the walk for truth is incredibly important that we stop at these really important locations and we highlight the significance and the true history and the full story around the colonisation process here in the state of Victoria. We can't shy away from that. But it won't just be about the trauma.
No.
It'll also be about the strength, the resistance, and that resistance is a key word. It's not resilience. It's resistance that we have for the last 191 years as a people, but also the leadership and the contributions that we have made to this state here in Victoria. And many of our people, as we know, we don't do it for that, for the accolades. But certainly we want to make sure that the leadership and the contributions of our people are known and recognised as many other people are recognising for what they have brought.
What are some of the moments during the commission that have really stayed with you?
Probably as a collective, it's really just honouring the people that come forward and share their truths with our commission. I think that's something that I reflect on quite a lot. having the ability to sit down with people and for them to trust us with their truths and with their lived experience. This is not stories. This is people's lived experience. It's testimony, it's facts, it's evidence. And as I said earlier, we've engaged with more than 9,000 First Peoples and more than 1,500 First Peoples and non-First Peoples and organisations have made submissions to Yoorrook. So people to trust us, people to come forward and engage in our processes of truth-telling. And I think that's something that, has been incredibly important and powerful, but also, true honour for us as commissioners. And the five of us often reflects on that. And I think that's an incredibly important part that people come forward. Many truths as well that we've heard. Another key part would be non-First Peoples, early colonial figures, descendants coming forward as well and coming and talking about what their family had done and undertaken, or things that had happened on the lands that they now own as well, which is incredibly important and powerful as well. So I think that those things will forever sit with me, but more the importance of people coming forward and trusting us and engaging with our truth-telling process as well. It's an incredible honour to be able to do this work and incredibly privileged. And that's another reason why I'm walking for truth, is to elevate those mob who have come forward and share their truths with us. And yes, we're writing their report and recommendations that will go to the heart of their truths and their lived experiences and also then official public record, but to make sure and give an opportunity for all of society to understand the true history and the full story as what has happened to our people through the colonisation process in the state of Victoria. But also, again, how we come forward, we understand the past and how it connects with the present, and how we move forward together. And that's incredibly important to me. I want to be able to move forward with everyone else based on truth, justice, and healing.
And resistance.
And underpinned by the resistance of our people. That's right.
It's so important, isn't it? And in fact, this show has actually done a lot of coverage on the Yoorrook Commission. I'll just quickly read out this link for the walk. So it's Yoorrook Justice Commission.org, I think, /AU events/walk for truth. But look up the website of Google Yoorrook Commission, and it'll go through, and you can have a look and register for the walk. Anything else you want to tell us?
No, really thanks for the opportunity to come on and have a yarn with you, Mob. It's really important that that we come and we're talking to everyone really, and I think that's incredibly important. That I would like for people to come and join us on the Walk for Truth, as you've just highlighted. Again, we've worked really hard over the last 4 years, but again, as we say, it's not about us. We're here to elevate our people's voices, and that's what we've been laser focused in on, truth-telling, the truth-telling process here in the state of Victoria. And we always recognise that when we get to come and talk about the work, it's underpinned by people coming forward and trusting us, and it's a privilege to be able to make recommendations back to the state.
And hopefully we do the education campaign as well afterwards.
That's exactly right. Well, kicked off by the Walk for Truth, we'll be able to profile and highlight a number of those things as well. And yes, there's an incredibly amount of public education that still needs to be done, and the walk's only one part of that, as you've drawn people's attention to our website as well. The true path forward, really starts here. And we're inviting the public to listen to our people who have come forward and resisted for a long period of time. And we've opened our hearts to be able to share that full story with everyone. And we all want to walk towards a better and shared future, that is equitable and prosperous for everyone, which includes our people.
And in case new mob have tuned in, this is the Doin Time show, and you're listening to an interview with Travis Lovett, who is the Commissioner for the Yoorrook Justice Commission. Just in case any new mob have tuned in, can you just tell us again in language what land you're from?
Travis Lovett, Kerrupmara, Gunditjmara meeting. Linyan Kukon Kenen Kondaterek Bujabim. I just acknowledged that I was a proud Kerrupmara man, introduced myself as Travis Lovett, that I'm a proud Kerrupmara Gunditjmara man, and I've got connections to Bujabim, which is one of our mountains and creative spirit there, and also Taidek, which is the Kerrupmara clan that I'm connected to, is part of the broader Bujabim ecosystem, but we are Watermara mob.
Fantastic.
And Yoorrook, in our language, means for now. We never say goodbye. Yoorrook, we always see each other somewhere.
That's true. Yoorrook. That's a good one.
Yoorrook.
Thank you so much, Travis, and great to have you on the show. And I'm sure we'll have you back, and 3CR will definitely cover the walk as well.
Good, Ellie. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe. Keep your spirits high as best you can, and look forward to seeing you. Yoorrook.
Yoorrook. Thanks a lot. And it's approximately 4:25, and you've been listening to an interview with Travis Lovett, who is a traditional owner and Deputy Chair and Commissioner of the Yoorrook Justice Commission. And I'm going to be playing now a song, and I'll give you the name of it at the end.
Perché sono nata femmina, perché sono nata, ci sta chi mi può prendere, chi mi può insurata. So figlia in peste e non mi può incatena, facitemi passa. 90 fa paura, 38 è mazzata, a botte manganiella, musica è cagnata. Battimmo che tamburo, mo facimmo la sentì, chi non voleva sentire muore chiata rapi. Sta femmina niente, muovo tutto cosa, e te non arraggio che non arraposa, ha dato la vita e ce l'hanno luata in 1 milione di voti. Vestuta puttana e vestuta da sposa. Femmina niente, paura niente. Femmina niente,
And that was a song called Figlia da Tempesta by La Nana. And thank you to Karina and Vittorio for helping me find this song. And if that's not going to lead people to revolution, I don't know what is. It's approximately 4:29 and I'm going to be playing you some audio shortly in regarding yesterday's refugee and Palestinian rally. But first I'll play a quick announcement.
The law is part of our everyday lives, including when we buy something, use a service, have a job, or rent a house. The law can be used to help protect and support families when there is violence in the home or disputes over parenting arrangements. Sometimes we might need to understand the law to navigate specific government systems like Centrelink, getting a residency visa, or if we come into contact with the police. Community legal centres provide free, quality legal advice and assistance to help people with everyday legal problems. We focus on working with people who are experiencing disadvantage, such as financial hardship, family violence, homelessness, and discrimination. Community legal centres are independent, non-government organisations and can be found across Victoria and Australia. If you're experiencing a legal problem, your local community legal centre may be able to help. To find a community legal centre near you, visit the Federation of Community Legal Centres Victoria at www.fclc.org.au. A 3CR supporter.
And if you've just tuned in, this is the Doin Time show, and it's approximately 4:30, and this is 3CR Community Radio. So I'll be playing you some audio very soon, and just wanted to give you some speakers that I'll be playing from yesterday's Palm Sunday Rally. So we're going to be hearing from Rathy Barthlote from Refugee Women Action for Visa Equality, Refugee Wave, Jasmine Fischer, a member of the Refugee Action Collective. Both include intros from MC Nasser Mashni, who is the president of the Australia-Palestine Advocacy Network, APAN, and is an excellent 3CR presenter with the show Palestine Remembered, 9:30 on Saturdays, and please do tune in to that. And if we have time, I'll also play a speech from Robbie Thorpe as well. So the first one that we're going to be hearing from is Rathy. Here it is.
There are no two sides in genocide. You either are for or against. There is no middle ground. My friends, Passover started yesterday. To our Jewish siblings who are here today, we wish you a happy Passover. Sorry for butchering that. Thank you for standing with us. We love you and we appreciate everything you do. There are many moments when we get uplifted. Last week, my wife and children and I went to the Surf Coast. We met a woman there, Barbara, who was part of a group who were collecting amphipods. If you don't know what an amphipod is, you're not alone. I don't know what that is either. But it's a crustacean with 8 legs. And they count them as a measure of how our climate is doing. And when I saw her and I asked what she was doing, I said, "Oh, that's great." She goes, "I recognise you." I said, "Well, I'm kind of Palestine famous." Well, she hugged me and we spoke that the fight for Palestine is a fight for climate justice. It's a fight for those animals. It's a fight for everyone. Next up, I'm very, very happy to tell you that we are joined by Rathy Barthlote, who's the founder of the Refugee Women Action for Visa Equality. She's been fighting for permanent protection for more than 12 years. A big round of applause for Rathy. Come up, sister.
Dear comrades, brothers and sisters, I want to acknowledge the land we meet on today. I pay my respect to elders past, present and emerging. This land always were and will be Aboriginal land. Today is not just another day of protest. It's a lesson in power and its cruelty, a reminder of how the powerful silence the weak, how history repeats its brutality when the world looks away. This is not just a story of grief. This is a call for justice, for our voices to arise in defiance of silence. As Tamil refugees, many of us were born on ancestral land only to be displaced by war, denied our rights, and scattered across borders. We, like Palestinians, are a people forced into exile, punished not for crimes but for our very existence. The pain Palestinians endure today is a pain we, the Elam Tamil people, have carried for generations. Our histories are written in the same blood. Our lands destroyed, our children dropped, our futures, our culture targeted for erasure. Genocide was not an action, it was planned. In Palestine, like in Sri Lanka, entire communities were systematically wiped out. Schools, hospitals, and homes reduced to rubble. Women brutalized, children orphaned, lives treated as numbers on a separate spreadsheet of destruction. In Gaza, tens of thousands have been murdered. Children cry for parents they never will see again. In Rafah, people are made refugees in their own land. This pain is not unfamiliar to us. We too have walked through his darkness. When the Sri Lankan state launched its final assault in 2009, it bombed civilians in so-called no-fire zone, disparated our family members and used sexual violence as a weapon of war. It wasn't just a military attack, it was a war to erase our identity. And who funded the war? The same power that arm and support Israel today, including Australia and Israel themselves. So I ask, if one nation is given the right to safety, why not another? If one child deserves protection, why not ours? Refugees like me, over 8,000 of us, Australia, have been trapped in limbo for more than a decade because of the fast-track process. We are victims of immigration system built to exclude, not welcome. 12 years without a permanent visa, 12 years without rights. We have lost loved ones, faced illness, and lived with fear, all while waiting for signature that could change our lives. Labour had 3 years of fix this. They failed, and now during this election season, they ask us for votes while ignoring our humanity. But something changed. Last year, the movement for Palestine erupted across the streets of Melbourne, and all of you gave us hope. Because of your protest, your courage, and your solidarity, we found the platform to build our own movement. For the first time, people heard us. For the first time, our story mattered. To the Palestine movement, to the Palestine Solidarity Movement, thank you. You showed us what solidarity means. You reminded us that our struggles are not isolated, they are shared. And you help us believe that change is possible. Those who support us with unwavering trust, refugee support organizations, our friends in the Victorians and other comrades, we've seen you. Your relentless support has helped us organize, campaign, and survive through these difficult times. As we approach this election, remember who stood with us. Remember who raised their voice when we were silent. Remember who acted while the major parties stand away. So I say to all of you, remember Palestine, remember the refugees, remember our allies. Vote for justice, vote for humanity, vote for the left. This is not just a rally speech. This is a warning to history and a promise to our people. We will not be quiet, not until justice is done, not until all of us, from Gaza to Muliwaikal, from detention center to refugee camp, are free. Thank you so much. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free the refugees! Free, free the refugees! Free, free the refugees! Free, free the refugees! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Thank you.
I've mentioned this man's words before, but I want you to recall them when they say to us, what's the point of protesting? What's the point of your actions? I want you to recall the words of the Dutch-American Abraham Mashni, who stood silently with a candle in front of the White House on a cold, rainy night. A reporter asked him, he said, do you think you're really going to change the politics of this country with your one-man protest and your candle? He said, I don't do this to change the politics of this country. I do it so they don't change me. Don't let their racism, don't let their fascism, don't let their hate change you. That's our job. We can't let this evil change us. When they bomb and they kill, our job is to be the opposite. When the Liberal Party went low, the Labor Party had an opportunity to go high. Instead, they went not as low. Not as low. Shame. We won't forget, our job as humanitarians is to embrace, to bring people into our fold. The history will judge these leaders poorly, leaders. They will never stain, they will never wash the stain of this genocide from their legacies. There is little doubt that historians will absolutely say it was a genocide. The historians will say that this was a concentration camp. They will say it was an extermination camp. A month after 17 months of starvation and brutality that cut off food and gas and electricity, all forms of aid. This is more than a genocide, and it's shameful. Shameful that our governments continue to not do anything. I have advocated my entire life for Palestine, and I have told them that Palestine is a vote winner. Let's make sure they understand that Palestine is also a vote coster. A vote coster, my friend. We need to hold them to account. If you've marshalled before or want to marshal, please head to my left, your right. Find somebody in the yellow armband for some quick training. We're just down some marshals, my friends. Next up, we've got Jasmine Fischer, who's an active member of the Refugee Action Collective. Big round of applause for Jasmine, everyone.
Thank you, and I'd like to extend my thanks to. I'd like to extend my thanks to the organisers of today's protest for inviting. Thank you. I'm so professional. I love it. Inviting Refugee Action Collective to speak on the platform today. It's Palm Sunday, so normally in the past there's been an annual rally for refugees on this day, but today we decided actually it's so important to join the Palestine rally because those struggles are absolutely linked. We have to be here. I've been active in RAC for a few years now, and it never ceases to horrify me the amount of suffering refugees are forced to endure in this country because of racist policies. I should also mention I'm in the Australian Services Union because fighting for Palestine is union business and fighting for refugee rights is union business. I was first actively campaigning around refugees in the UK. I went to makeshift camps on the borders of France. I've seen the horrific consequences of borders both there and here. And what I learned actually is that a lot of the racist policies in the UK were inspired, surprise, surprise, by Australia. Shame. Australia is good at racism, so good. Why is that? Because it was built on a racist ideology that enabled a genocide, that enabled stolen land. Shame. And it's the same racism that is being used today, that is facing migrants and refugees, and now also the same racism that is being whipped up to demonise Palestinians, and it divides and weakens our movement. We are facing the prospect, possibly, of a Liberal government with one of the worst racists we've seen as leader. You kind of think, how could this happen, right, in 2025? The answer isn't simply that ordinary Australians are just racist. In many ways, the current Labor government have played a massive role in paving the way for the chance that Liberal have to claw their way back to power. The Labor government have let voters down time and time again and have caused even more suffering for refugees. They broke their promises around giving permanent visas. They've given a few crumbs here and there that we've had to really fight for, but thousands of refugees continue to live in a cruel limbo, as Rathy was talking about, and has caused so much suffering for people like Rathy, you know, like LGBT refugees fleeing prosecution and many more, unable to get that much needed security and stability to really live a safe life that they deserve to live here. There have also been boat turnbacks under Labor's watch. There are refugees currently trapped in Indonesia, unable to get to Australia as the governments are refusing them entry. There is millions being spent on cruel detention centres. And of course, I have to mention the draconian deportation laws that have recently been brought in that mean refugees can end up doing prison time if they do not assist with their deportation to a country that could cost them their lives. It's a disgrace. Not only that, but they've also expanded the powers to conduct invasive, unwarranted searches in immigration detention centres, seizing mobile phones and basically treating refugees like criminals for simply trying to seek a safer life. Shame indeed, and it's as if they're trying to beat Dutton in a game of who can be the most racist. It's disgusting and cruel, and actually not even what most Labor voters want. There is a huge support for refugees among the general population and the trade union movement, just as there's huge support for Palestine, and it might not always feel like that. But actually, there are thousands of people out there who agree with us, and they just don't feel confident that they have what it takes or that they can do anything to make that change that we need. But we all have a role to play in changing that. And of course the election is around the corner, and of course what your vote does matter in terms of voting against racist policy, voting for Palestine, and voting for refugees. But actually what history really shows us is that when real lasting and progressive change happens, it's because of the struggles from below, it's because of pressure from below. And the only reason there have been any gains made around refugee rights or against racism is because people, ordinary people like you and me, fought for it. When I first moved to Melbourne, I first came across protests at the Carlton Hotel, where they were cruelly holding refugees there like prisoners. And because of the pressure from the protests, they had to let them out. And that was when the Liberals were in power. It was amazing. And there's also been teacher walkouts for refugees in the past. Refugees themselves, as Rathy said, organising. All of these things have helped to make gains for refugees and to stop things getting even more racist. And it's under both the Liberal and the Labor government these struggles have happened. And let's be clear, no matter who wins the next election, we will not be facing a strong government. They are weak, they are divided, and which means enough pressure can shift them. We have the power to shift them. All of us here have that ability to organise. We can fight back that we can build up enough to win. And we've done it before, we can do it again. And if we want to really put an end to the racist policies and force the Australian government to cut all ties with Israel, then we've really got to go out there and build widely. Go out into your workplaces, go out into universities, your schools, and we've got to start building your trade union branches and start building. Any gain can help build confidence in, getting a workplace contingent on the NAPBAR rally on the 18th of May, for example. That can make a huge difference. We really need to be out on the streets if we want to get to a point where workers can walk off the job or students can occupy en masse. Because if the government aren't going to put an end to the racist, cruel policies or stop backing a genocide in Palestine, then we have to force them. And it's so crucial in a period of Trump and the growing far right that if we don't get organised, the far right will gain. We cannot risk that. We need to unite together, create an atmosphere where not only the racists don't feel like they can spew their hatred, but also so the government don't feel like these racist policies can exist anymore. And also we want to cut all ties with Israel. And just to finish, if you want to get involved with the Refugee Action Collective, we've got a stall over there. We have weekly meetings every Monday at 6:30. Or come and chat to me if you want to get involved. But let's say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Thank you.
And you just heard some audio from yesterday's Palm Sunday Refugee and Palestinian Rally, and I attended that rally myself, and they were very, very powerful speeches. Yeah, so we have to keep going, basically. It's approximately 4:49, and I'm just going to go into some other announcements before we conclude.
Asian migrant sex workers are being targeted by violent, racist border force raids on our workplaces under Operation Inglenook.
Inglenook uses racial profiling and anti-sex worker bias to deny Asian women, including trans women, entry at the border. Border Force officers with guns are coming into Asian brothels and massage parlours, even entering rooms where sex workers are working without consent. Migrant sex workers in Victoria have been left traumatised, too scared to return to work.
This is the violations of our privacy and human rights.
Asian migrant sex workers and Vixen, Victoria's peer sex worker organisation, invite sex workers and our allies.
It's time to fight back against the racist raids that steal our safety, take our incomes, and put our future visa at risk. Join our protest
on Thursday, April 17, from 12:30pm at the Department of Home Affairs, 808 Burke Street, Docklands.
Sex worker would not be silenced. We have the right to work safely and with dignity.
No more violent raids. And see you there. Vixen is a proud 3CR supporter.
What's taking place in Palestine is horrendous.
Here are some ways that you can keep yourself informed and involved.
Listen in to Palestine Remembered every Saturday morning at 9:30am or listen to the podcast.
Join the APAN mailing list at apan.org.au for updates, news about actions you can get involved in, and where you can donate to provide humanitarian assistance.
Listen to other news and current affairs programs on 3CR that also cover Palestine.
The oppression of the Palestinian people has been going on for 75 years. It has to stop. You can be part of making that happen by staying informed and active.
APAN is a proud supporter of 3CR.
And you're back with the Doin Time show, and it's approximately 4:52. The extended interview that you heard was with Travis Lovett, traditional owner and deputy chair and commissioner of the Yoorrook Justice Commission. Following on from that, there was some audio that was played from the Palm Sunday Palestinian and Refugee Rally yesterday, and this just about concludes our show for today. So we're going to be going out with our theme song, Black Fella, White Fella by the Rumpy Band. And stay tuned every Monday from 4 to 5 for the Doin Time show. And thank you also to our wonderful 3CR volunteers who recorded the rally yesterday. We are our own media, and one of the really important things that is happening at 3CR is that we have very important volunteers that record off-site. So it's really important to acknowledge people that record the rallies and protests that are happening. It's approximately 4:54. Stay tuned every Monday from 4 to 5 for the Doin Time show every Monday. Thanks a lot, and it's goodbye from Marisa.
As long as you are true fella, as long as you are real fella. All the people of different races with different lives in different places. It doesn't matter what your name is. We got to help
Connecting Home is a safe space for survivors of the stolen generations and families to share stories and get support without judgment. We can help you learn about your rights and access compensation. We're here every step of the way. Every yarn is a step towards healing. Visit connectinghome.org.au or give us a call on 03 8679 0777.
A 3CR supporter.
Accent to women. It seems so obvious to me that if you live in a completely violent cultural milieu, that it's going to translate into every aspect of women's lives. Accent to women.
What's a border? They don't see it like a big wall right along the
How can
country.
people live ordinary lives when they're living in such an extraordinary situation where there are armies there and terrorists there and such conflict every single day of their lives?
Accent to women.
A show by and about women from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds.
On Community Radio 3CR.
You've been listening to a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. For more information, go to allthews.3cr.org.au.